She says, I'm starting to think I haven't been doing the Ujjayi breath right. So how can one be sure? To me, breathing is one of the most basic things that we do, and it's actually requires skill to breathe, even though it happens all by itself your whole life, 21,000 times per day, right? Like you breathe in and out, right? But to breathe well and to kind of tap all of the potential that breathing holds for a human being requires consciousness and skill. And so, and Ujjayi breathing, that's your universal technique, right? So the very first pranayama technique is this Ujjayi. And to remember, in yoga, it's one whole limb out of the 8 limbs is devoted to breath, to working with breath. And so it's a very important aspect of yoga. And so with the Ujjayi, one of the reasons, or one of the things that makes it the universal technique, or that goes along with being a universal technique, is that in a way it's inexhaustible, like what you can learn about or like experience with that simple technique. That's what's so amazing about it. It's as simple as constricting your throat and making a little pull to breathe in, or a push to breathe out. And it's that simple, and yet it's inexhaustible. I asked myself, I didn't see this question until just about 5 minutes ago, but I asked myself the exact same question when I was practicing. Like because it's so easy to kind of assume that I've got the breath going well, or I'm breathing well in my practice, especially when we get some knowledge, right? We think I'm skilled at doing Ujjayi, right? It's not hard. It's just you're just regulating your breath by constricting your glottis and making a sound. But so you have to be there, right there in the moment, though, with that breath, and not go on automatic. And so, because sometimes, so there's a whole kind of balance you're looking for between, it can be, like part of why you do Ujjayi is because the breath, I call it being inhibited, or it's like your breath hibernates. And they say we use like 1/6 of the capacity of our lungs at any given time. And then also the fact that we breathe in and out 21,000 times a day and hardly notice any. So there's a tendency to be very disconnected from our breath, and then like not really use the diaphragm. That's your main breathing muscle, and it can, and it's a muscle, right? So it can be strong, or it can be kind of atrophied or weak, and so a lot of times we just don't breathe enough. We don't use our muscles, breathing muscles. We don't use our lungs, and so that's, it can be kind of not happening well enough. But then on the other end of the spectrum, especially when we start getting a hold of Ujjayi, we can be too forceful, too strong with the breath, and like without even knowing it, strain and be like almost shut ourselves off from ourselves in the opposite direction, right? So if we're inhibited, then we're kind of like not really there with ourselves. But then if we are over forceful with the breath, then we're also not really present or getting the benefit of the breath. Okay, so with the Ujjayi, and also I'm amazed how, see, because the word pranayama, breath control, right? Like we tend to get very into controlling the breath, and to the point where I'm amazed sometimes, like when I'm adjusting a student, and I teach like asana actions, so a lot of activation of the arms and legs, but that can easily translate into kind of having a rigid jaw and tongue and kind of like rigid rib cage, and so then breath can't really open up and flow when you're holding on, and so these are the things, Christina, I'd be looking for, is like really being present with the breath and the sound, because that's what they call Ujjayi, is sound breathing. So really in this moment, listen to the sound. And so it should be not too soft and not too hard, or not too loud or forceful, but not too timid or kind of shy or inhibited. And so it's a certain quality of balance. And then it's also the effect of the breath, like that it should open you up, make you kind of free inside within all the action that you're creating in your asana, like lengthening your legs and arms and these different things that we're doing. And remember that the word is it's completely misinterpreted, translated, right? It's not breath control. Pranayama, that's not what that means. It means ayama. So yama is restraint, and ayama is the opposite of restraint. So it's freeing, it's unrestraining the prana. Okay, so it's about energy flowing. Like that when you're using Ujjayi, you're causing energy to flow freely in your body. And that's what you want to look for to decide if, like, I know if I'm doing it right, is by the sound quality and then the receptivity and spaciousness that you create within your body, along with the power. So thank you for joining me. So if you enjoyed this video, you can press the thanks button and make a donation, and the money will go towards making more videos for you.